Back in June, Logan Paul, aka The Maverick, fought against Floyd Mayweather, which gave the fans 8 disappointing rounds without a knockout, and the fight ended without any winner. After The Maverick vs. Mayweather, fans have been awaiting for Paul's next fight. The wait is probably over, as Logan Paul will be sharing the boxing ring with Mike Tyson in February of 2022. What should fans expect from Paul vs. Tyson? Is this even a good thing to happen in boxing? Here's what you need to know. An insight on Logan Paul vs. Mike Tyson. Tyson returned to the boxing ring to fight Roy Jones Jr. in November of 2020, after taking a 15-year break. The Iron Mike fans know he is 50 plus now, but he looks way too sharp and active for his age. Since 2020, Tyson has been asked about fighting any of the Paul brothers, but Tyson never seemed to be interested in fighting any of the YouTuber turned boxer brothers. This is why we couldn't think of a fight happening between Tyson and Logan Paul anytime soon, but now it's finally happening. In his podcast, Logan Paul said that his lawyer believes that Tyson could rip his head off. However, the Maverick believes that he can beat Iron Mike because he's so old, but can he? Paul might have gained much respect after going 8 rounds against Floyd, but Tyson is different, and he is definitely not threatened by the Maverick. In an interview, when he asked about the fight with Logan Paul, the boxing legend said, "Anything is possible," and laughed out loud at the idea of fighting a 26-year-old. Fans and pro boxers have mixed opinions. Is Tyson actually old, or is Logan Paul underestimating Tyson due to the age difference? What is the boxing community saying about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson? Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson has attracted the majority of the boxing community, and everyone has something to say, and many think that Logan Paul stands no chance against Mike Tyson. The reaction of pro boxers about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson was mixed. Some love the way how the YouTuber turned boxer brothers are making their way into boxing, while others are simply tired of watching celebrity fights. Logan Paul, after fighting Mayweather, gathered a lot of praise from pro boxers, including Mike Tyson, who FaceTimed Paul and said that he is proud of him. When he asked about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson, everyone had almost the same reaction. Sean Gibbons, president of Manny Pacquiao Promotion, said that he even is scared of standing in the same arena as Mike Tyson because he is a scary man regardless of his age. He also said that despite being great at boxing, Logan Paul still cannot win against Iron Mike. Sharif Bogier, the lightweight division Ugandan boxer, didn't even take a second to predict Mike Tyson's win in this upcoming fight. He also said that Tyson can still make it look like he's in his prime years while Paul can't really fight the legend. Marshall Kaufman, the famous pro boxing trainer, seems to have a little hope for Logan Paul's win. However, this doesn't mean he doesn't know Tyson's stamina. He added that Mike Tyson can knock out Paul in 30 seconds. The boxing community seems to be on Mike Tyson's side, but anything is possible when it comes to passion, and the Maverick might actually do everything possible to win the fight. Michael Bisping has a lot to say about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson. Former UFC champion and sports analyst Michael Bisping has a lot to say about the Paul versus Tyson fight, and we are so ready to hear it all. According to Bisping, the 30-year age gap between both boxers wouldn't be so helpful for Logan, as he won't be able to hang with Iron Mike in the ring for long. Bisping believes that the baddest man on the planet will smoke away the YouTuber turned boxer in a matter of seconds. Bisping says Logan has a good physique regarding his height and athletic body, but Jake Paul seems to be the better boxer. He added that there might be a possibility that Logan will learn to manage his gas tank and fight better, but he can't overlook the fact that Tyson will absolutely flatline the Maverick. If Bisping's predictions are right, Logan Paul might have gotten himself into trouble. Right now, everyone seems to believe that this fight is completely one-sided, and Logan will definitely lose. But it is also true that we might be underestimating the Maverick. Should we think of both boxers as equals? Time will tell. Is this fight even worth it? As much as we know, in any scenario, the fight is not a bad idea in any way. Fighting legends will only bring Logan Paul where he wants to be. Even the legends were news at some point. The boxing community might have a biased opinion for this fight, and fans seem to love the idea of Logan fighting the ultimate legends at the very beginning of his career. Earlier in his fight with Mayweather, Logan was warned by several pro boxers, including his upcoming opponent Mike Tyson, that he'd get beaten up badly. Yet still, the Maverick managed to end the game without a single knockout, so we can expect him to do even better in February as well. No matter who wins this fight, either way, fans don't need to worry about it being the worst thing to happen in boxing. Either way, the game is beneficial for both boxers. Logan Paul gets to fight a legend even if he loses, and Tyson will get a chance to be back in the ring once again and fight a boxer so young. Money, on the other hand, is a major bonus for both boxers. We call it a game with no cons. Why is Paul so into fighting boxing legends? We believe it's the money and market value. Whatever else it may be, Logan has surely proved that there is a huge market for fighting legends. His last fight with Mayweather Jr. raised around $50 million. These figures were way higher than what many legendary fights had brought in the past, and of course, it didn't fail to impress boxing aficionados. Tyson seems to understand the market value of this fight with Paul. While talking about his bout with the Maverick, Tyson seemed quite optimistic about the fight, as he believes that the game will be beneficial for charity either way. The upcoming fight between Iron Mike and the Maverick might even bring in much more bucks than any of the previous fights of both boxers. Celebrity fights are becoming a trend, with the Paul brothers leading it, as both of them are often seen challenging pro boxers. We understand why the brothers are so obsessed with these fights. They not only provide them with the spotlight they need as boxers, but also raise great money. Even Tyson, in an interview, called these celebrity fights money fights. He also said that he wouldn't say no to fighting any of the Paul brothers because that would bring him a lot of money. Logan Paul and Mike Tyson. A comparison. Both boxers have major differences when it comes to physique, age, and experience. These differences, especially the age gap between both boxers, were why most fans found it hard to believe that this bout is actually happening. Logan Paul is 26 years old, while Mike Tyson is in his 50s, making it a 30-year age difference. Logan has a notable edge in this fight in terms of age. The Maverick also wins in terms of reach and height as he stands tall at 6'2", with a reach of 76 inches, while Iron Mike is only 5'10", with 71 inches of reach. If we talk about the weight of both boxers, Logan weighs approximately 190 to 200 pounds, but the fight will probably be contested in the heavyweight class, so Logan might weigh more by that time. Mike Tyson, however, wins over Logan in terms of weight, as his weight was around 220 pounds in his last fight against Roy Jones Jr. Lastly, when we talk about the boxing records of these boxers, there is a major difference that holds Logan under Tyson. Tyson is known as the baddest man on the planet for a reason. The 55-year-old legend has an outstanding record of winning 44 fights in his 56 fights pro boxing career. He is also the youngest heavyweight champion in the world, as he won the title when he was only 20 years old. The list of Tyson's achievements doesn't end there. He also holds the place as the first fighter to win WBC, WBA, and IBF titles all at the same time. On the other hand, Logan has yet to win a fight in his boxing career, as he holds a 0-1 record. This means Logan will be fighting for his first ever win against Mike Tyson. Tough game, no? We are desperately waiting for February so we can watch this iconic fight actually happen. The competition is tight, and it's hard to guess the winner beforehand, so we are cheering both boxers for now. Who do you stand with and your predictions about this fight? Let us know in the comments. For now, it's a wrap. We'll see you soon with a new video. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Goodbye!